one that isn't mine that I really, really like. Been stuck on Neil Hilborn these days, so I'll read that last. The house I built at the end of the road that is paved in good intentions now stands abandoned. Surrounded with enough roadside graves, it might as well be a mausoleum dedicated to all of the versions of me who thought they were strong enough to make it out alive, but never quite figured out the ones who were hunting them knew them by name. It so often seems the ones we love the most always know the best ways to kill us, with an effortlessness that's almost poetic, could even be beautiful in the right light. Because what is life if not to become just another ghost story, where one day all that will be left are the songs I would send you, the Polaroids under the bed, and the lingering feeling that I was once here too, fortunately at the same time as you. I want to call my mom. I want her to tell me it's going to be okay, and I want to believe her. I want to have faith in someone other than myself. Something that doesn't hold my name on the tip of their tongue, a secret in the back of their throat that is only spoken when there is nothing better to talk about. I want a house fire, and I want to be the one that haunts it, just to get a taste of something all-consuming, to have the vulnerability to let it. I want to be invited in without having to build my own chair to sit at your table, to be a part of a story and not just someone who gets to hear about it after. I want to be known. I want to be so known you couldn't remember a time before me. A history learned between cigarettes and phone sex, mixtapes and photographs. I want to rewrite history in a way that will let my grief let all of this go. Because I've spent so many winters of my life at the grave of the girl I was so sure I was supposed to be, and she just never showed up. And I want that to be okay. Just like I want it to be okay that I want to die, but only when the time is right, and not a second before I see all of this happen. This will be my last piece that I remember. I now keep my love on the top shelf, still within eyesight, but just out of reach. But if I stand on my tiptoes, I can still brush my fingertips against it, in case I need to remember that all of the things that I have felt were just as real as anything else, just as alive as the very moments they were born in, that will continue to grow with time and lose their edges just the way we all do, with a tenderness maybe only the ocean could understand in all its longing for the shore. Maybe time is the kindest thing that could ever happen to us, and maybe I was the kindest thing that could have ever happened to you. This one is not mine. It's called I Don't Need to Have a Better Day. I Need to Feel Better About This One by Neil Hilborn. Perfectly relevant title for today. There's some truth to what Hugh once said about how a lot of the time I don't want to die. I'm just embarrassed and it makes me long for death. Not death, but just not being here. I'd rather die than confront my mistakes. And I spent long enough fixing nothing so I could feel nothing. That now, it's just mistakes all the way down. So yes, when tasked with admitting something is wrong, I do genuinely consider how much it's going to disrupt the already precarious life I've built for myself. Just a slight push of embarrassment might be enough to tip over this wheezing, expensive machine. If my things are going to be scattered all over the street, why not leave before I see them thrown? I know, I do, that I feel this way now and will not feel this way soon. I know that all of the aphorisms, even if I hate them, are right. This too shall pass, blah, blah, darkness, blah, blah, dawn. And I know it's rude to leave your messes for someone else, but consider also that I'm a mess, and I make people deal with me pretty consistently. Consider that most of every day is me crying alone in my car or bedroom over nothing, goddamn nothing, and consider that this is supposed to get better as I get older, and it's just getting worse. No one ever warned me that I would just get more anxious. Consider the future and how I see it, and maybe it's not all worth seeing again.